What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is Friday, December 12th, 2025. And we are here at the Polderbaan once again for another stream of arrivals. Same location as yesterday, albeit a bit further to the north. I am north of the excrement bridge where the grass is still green and there's no mud. Other than that, it's more or less the same. It's a continuation of yesterday. The weather, at least, is very comparable. The meter is indicating light drizzle. I didn't feel it thus far. Haven't felt it thus far. Fingers crossed. Air Arabia Morocco. First airplane of the day, flight 127. Arriving from Tangier, which is in Morocco, in the north of. In the north of. Huh? In the north of. Huh. Really need to press that button deep in order for it to trigger. Next airplane? Well, what do you know? Air Arabia Morocco. This one arriving from Nador, which is also in Morocco, which is in the north of In the meantime, a very good morning to everybody who's joined. Marja, goedenavond. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. And warm welcome to everybody else who also has joined already. Dukman, good morning. Dodo, good morning. Hansworst, goedemorgen. Martin, goedemorgen. Ricardo, goedemorgen. Jurk, goedemorgen. Guten Morgen. Good morning. Hazelurk. Derko, guten Morgen. Gilberto. Good morning. Buongiorno. Air Arabia Morocco. Hope things look good. It's still dark here. I've amped up the exposure compensation half a stop so that at least it looks somewhat bright. I also thought things looked a bit cool over here. It looks cool over here. Very bluish grayish. So I also turned up the white balance a little. Jewe Slijm, goedemorgen. Jewe Slijm is very confident. Absolutely no rain in the stream today. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. The TAF of Schiphol is indicating it is going to stay dry. Yesterday it was a different story. I wasn't sure yet whether or not I was going to be able to go out today, because yesterday the TAF of Schiphol was indicating 40% chance of drizzle all throughout the day actually. If there are going to be a few droplets, it's going to be very minute, or at least that's what now everything is looking like. So fingers crossed, we'll see. This is Delta Airlines flight 90, arriving from Orlando, Florida. First wide body of the show. And the first wheelie. I saw red bars on the audio on the gain indicator in my camera screen. Think it might have clipped a little. That was loud. The reversers are loud and the wind is blowing the sound this way. Maybe the ambient needs to be just a smidge lower. Tina, goedemorgen. Peter, goedemorgen. APB, good morning. Steven, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody. So, like I already announced in the live chat, Stefan Tudor is flying in from Bucharest on Tarom flight 361 today. He already showed his flashlight in the community section not too long ago. He is on the way now. He also sent me a picture this morning. He's seated on the right hand side behind the window, behind the wing, shortly behind the wing. 10th or so window from the back. Here is his flight. He's expected in just over half an hour. And the first queen, and probably the only queen unless we get a surprise from Paris, is also underway. Expected around the same time, around 10:30. Not as busy today with queens as we had yesterday, unfortunately. Yesterday we had 5. Today it looks like it's only going to be 1, plus the A380. But there you go. This is KLM Malta, arriving from Malta. What do you know? The 9H NED. That's November Echo Delta. Two hours and 52 minutes this flight has taken. Nielso, good morning. Artem, goedemorgen, good morning. Super Eminent, goedemorgen. John Kermis, goedemorgen, good morning. Dark Laguna, good morning. AMS Spotter, good morning. Hey QJ, good morning. Hey, that would be nice, Dodo. A lap around the Polderbaan. Right now, a colleague of yours is approaching. This is K3. So yeah, excrement bridge, looking at it from the other side. Russell Crowe has already found his throne. And the next airplane is about to touch down here. This is KLM flight 1570, arriving from Porto in Portugal. Ja, Muis, goedemorgen. J0, the aviation guy, good morning, guys. Mrs. J, good morning. And welcome back. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope you guys are having better weather where you are living than we do over here. In Dutch we call these days, this time of year, the dark days before Christmas. And I think you can probably see why that is. Apparently I'm not completely alone. I was alone here when walking up here, but I think I know this man. I've seen him before. He always has a jacket on. He has a big camera with him. He sometimes comes here. It seems like he comes to film particular flights. K3 says hi. And then he's off again. Interesting to see. Hadi Bart, goedemorgen. And Bart says in Dutch, I'll be leaving to Thailand with Qatar on December 25th. Which day of the week is that? That's on a Thursday, right? Will you be leaving in the morning, Bart? Or in the afternoon? Good morning, Juan Carlos. My colleague, I'm a security guard too. Nice. Where do you work, Juan Carlos? Denka 34 says, I live close to Enschede. And the sun is shining. Are you serious or are you just kidding? If you're serious, enjoy, mate. It does looking to the east, but then again, that's also where the sun is in the sky right now. At the horizon, it does look a bit more clear right now. Current status quo, looking to the south, things look like so. Looking to the west, it looks like this. Murmuration. Well, a little dispersed, but this is looking to the east. Lastly, this is looking to the north. Hey. Is that an A321 coming? I see fat cables, but it's Delta Airlines flight 142 arriving from Seattle, Washington. Delta Airlines flight 142, A330 Neo. So A330 Neos are also apparently very capable at producing those flap tip vortices. At first glance, I thought it might be an A321 Neo because these are also very good at making these cables. 9 hours and 17 minutes it has flown to get here from Seattle, Washington, Bill J's hometown. The November 408 Delta X-ray. Will they use the reversers or won't they? Don't be shy. Moderately. So. Nielsel says, I hope sun is shining in the east. I live in Apeldoorn, so I take it that the sun isn't shining in Apeldoorn right now then. And you're absolutely right, Gilberto. That's what it's all about. Hey, is that a duck? Would that be a duck returning? Or is that a goose? It's a cormorant. Still haven't seen the ducks ever since the fortification of the other side of the canal has finished. Chris Coot has returned. Gary Grebe has been sighted. If you're thinking I'm hearing water all the time, it's because I'm standing right on the other side of this little trickle. Apologies for those who have bladder issues and now, as a consequence of hearing the background, need to pee constantly. Hey, good morning, Rosie Groovy. Ah, Rosie Groovy, also from Seattle. Have to remember that, so there you go. It came from your hometown, that Delta, just now. Edward, goedemorgen. Ramon, goedemorgen. And a warm welcome to everybody who has joined in the meantime. Still pretty dark here. If I were to switch back to what is the standard exposure here, you would get this. This looks a bit brighter, a bit better. Good morning, Wombat Parade. Danny, goedemorgen. Bobbers, good morning and welcome back. Richard, goedemorgen. Good morning. Alrighty, next up is Air Dolomiti, arriving from Frankfurt. Flight 8946. It's an Embraer 190 long range. Jenny is its registration. That's India, Juliet, Echo, November, India. Jenny is coming to town. She is flying in from Frankfurt. Her flight time, 51 minutes as we speak. Guten Morgen, friend Sebastian, und herzlich willkommen. No need to be sorry, mate, you're still well in time. The airplane that we're now looking at is 15 years old. First flight was in October 2010. Next up will be American Airlines, arriving from Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. Flight 204, 7878 Dreamliner. Jenny has squeaky brakes. And that on an Embraer. Who would have thought? Now there's a first. At sign. I think that's along one of the highways. Not sure if that's along the A4 or the A5. Could be either. Good morning, Luke, who is tuning in from Sweden. Welcome to the show. Gineke, goedemorgen. The Delta from Atlanta looks nice. QJ says, is that the Team USA? Pilot Sander yesterday informed me that today the Team USA would be coming back to town. A330 Neo. That's probably it, isn't it? Hey Senna, goedemorgen. Senna is tuning in from a very dark and grim Westland, which, as the name implies, is also in the west of the Netherlands, just like Schiphol, but a bit further to the south. Unless there are more Westlands in the Netherlands. Robert Johnson, good morning. Who is tuning in from Sweden? Is the sun up yet? That's a good question, mate. I'm also wondering. Yeah, the clouds are more dense today than they were yesterday, as you can quite clearly see. The sun is out this time of year. It rises shortly before 9. The latest sunrise here in the Netherlands would be around New Year's Eve, and that's, I think, 10 to 9 in the morning. By then, of course, the sunsets are already lengthening again, which is why it's not the longest day, the shortest day of the year. In fact, actually, these days, we are experiencing the earliest sunset here in the Netherlands, shortly before 4:30, 4:26 if I am not mistaken. They will gradually start lengthening again, the sunsets, but because the sunrises are also still getting later until approximately New Year's Eve, the shortest day of the year is actually shortly before Christmas. Mario, guten Morgen und herzlich willkommen. Pale Blue Doubt, good morning, tuning in from Nova Scotia in Canada, welcome. Hey Bram, goedemorgen. Carlo, goedemorgen. Carlo tuning in from Noordwijkerhout, nice. Not too far from my hometown of Lisse. Bollenstreek in the house. EasyJet also in the house. Next up, Delta Airlines Flight 74. A330 Neo arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. And that is indeed in the Team USA livery. USA. The United States of America. They used to be Europe's allies. Now no more, unfortunately. 7 hours and 37 minutes on the way. 737, the November 411 Delta X-Ray. Your plane is 4 years old. Its first flight was in May 2021. German Monster, good morning. Anaconda, good morning. Anaconda, let me... that was Flores, right? Inimini, goedemorgen. Kok, goedemorgen. Hey, Kok, goedemorgen. Tuning in from Lisse. Nice. That's my hometown. Team USA in the house. Reversers, please. Nice. Mark, goedemorgen. Marjan, goedemorgen. Ramon, goedemorgen. Indeed, Flores, I remembered correctly. FJWH, good morning, goedemorgen. And thank you for the kind words. Marijke, goedemorgen. Hey, no worries, Robert. Everybody with common sense knows that governments don't necessarily represent every inhabitant. That also goes, of course, for Russia and other countries in the world. This is KLM Flight 749 arriving from Cartagena, which is in Colombia, right next to Ecuador. It's a 787-10 Dreamliner, 8 hours and 53 minutes on the way. The Papa Hotel Bravo Kilo Charlie, BKC. She is 6 years old. First flight October 2019. Good morning, Curtis, who is working from home today. Well done, nice job. Peter Flight Devil, goedemorgen, good morning. Lindsay, goedemorgen. Hey Bas, goedemorgen. Mr. Blue Sky, good morning. Alright, it's 10:08. That means that Stefan Tudor will be landing here shortly, within half an hour. Probably, was it a little bit ahead of the 747 or was the 747 ahead of him? Stefan Tudor arriving in Tarom, flight 361 from Bucharest on his way to Toronto, making a stop over here in Amsterdam. They're approaching the Netherlands right now, and I'm wondering which will arrive first. The 747 has an ETA of 10:34, the Tarom 10:36, so neck and neck. Now, Stefan is seated on the right hand side. He is right behind the window. He has a flashlight with him, so I'm expecting a nicely visible shine the light moment shortly. Hadi Martin, goedemorgen. Daniel, good morning. Next up, EasyJet in the Rio livery. The OELSN, arriving from London, Stansted.
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
Stansted. Johannes from Nuremberg, guten Morgen und herzlich willkommen. Hey, Jinshin is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. And Donna is too. Good morning to both of you. And Nick is also looking. Good to see you. Hope all is well with you guys. Long time no see. It seems that the algorithm has more trouble finding the audience lately. It's calming down, actually. Spoke with Sander yesterday, who is also experiencing something similar right after the NATO summit. For some reason. Hey, 2 murmurations, that's nice. Have a look at this. Crossing traffic from the right for the airplane that is approaching over there. The airplane that is approaching is KLM Flight 598, arriving from Cape Town in the south. It's a 7879 Dreamliner. 11 hours and 11 minutes on the way. The Papa Hotel, Bravo Hotel, Echo, BHE. Stranger, good morning, mate. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Hey, Razor, good morning. I am back, absolutely. And you are too. Welcome back, mate. J-Ro, good morning. Stephen confirming that AMS was not showing to him yesterday. I'm assuming that you do have notifications enabled, right? Weird how that works. I also saw a comment below the stream of last Sunday from somebody who only received notification of the live stream from last Sunday 15 hours after it started. What the fooch is going on with YouTube these days? Hey, Gerrit also back. Good morning, mate. Dustin, good morning. Here we go. This is EasyJet arriving from London Gatwick.
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Merry fucking Poppins, London.
Gatwick. It's an A319. The OELKY. 47 minutes on the way. Alessia, good morning. Ronald, good morning. Ronald Smith is tuning in from Kansas City. How nice. We also have a viewer, Michael Jackson, who lives not too far away, I think. In, if I pronounce it properly, Wichita. By all means, please correct me if I mispronounce that accidentally. Wouter asks if you're standing on the other side with your car, is that allowed or will you get fined? Well, I do believe if you look on Google Street View that before you're driving to the roundabout, you'll see signs, traffic signs, probably one of these, that indicates it's not allowed to stand still. This car is smartly standing right before the sign, which I'm not sure if that's allowed. What's definitely not allowed is if you are standing with your car on the bridge. That's also prohibited on this side. They need to be vacant, those emergency entrances and exits. But have a look on Google Street View. You will be able to see the traffic signs and you'll be able to see whether or not it is allowed. I thought it wasn't from 100 meters or so, if not more. From when you reach the roundabout, those traffic signs indicating that it's prohibited to stop are present. Barista Ruben, goedemorgen. Gerrit is wondering about the mud. Well, I'm standing north of the bridge, and over here I already thought I could see that yesterday. It was looking cleaner, and over here it is actually perfectly clean. I'm standing in trampled grass over here, which means that my feet aren't even getting dirty. Yesterday I put the I hosed off the utility cart in the backyard, all the mud. Wanted to keep it clean, so I decided let's just walk further north for an additional minute or so, and I would probably be standing dry here. Dry, clean. And that's exactly what happened. Elite Job, good morning. Tuning in from Portugal. Gurdeep, good morning. Hey Naomi, goedemorgen. And thank you. Perfect pronunciation. Daniel, good morning. Dyson Rebel, good morning. Hey, nice purchases. Early Christmas presents or just because you wanted to? United Airlines flight 909, arrival from Chicago, 767-300 Next up, Delta Airlines flight 136, arriving from Detroit, Michigan, A330-300, coming in. Now, Russell and his crony are sitting on the bridge. Russell and his crony sitting on their throny. What a bunch of baloney. Delta Airlines flight 136 will be followed by Air Canada flight 808. Airbus both of them. Ah, Christmas gift. Nice, Dice Rebel. I also bought me a Christmas gift, if you want to call it, yesterday. Pulled the trigger on a new tripod and tripod head. They do need to be ordered first, so I am hoping it's not going to take too long, but I thought they said if available at the factory, it could take up to 14 working days, so that's almost 3 weeks. Haven't seen the firefighters yet, and if you look in the background, all seems to be quiet over there. Hey, Concorde next, nice. Dustin reporting that the 747 is above Lelystad, following the China Cargo 777. Good morning, John Cotton, who is tuning in from Wolverhampton. Hope things are a bit brighter over there than they are over here. Still using half a stop of exposure compensation to at least make things look decently lit. Looking around me, it is still, well, twilighty, I would call it. You can definitely tell that the sun this time of year, this time of day, isn't very high above the horizon anymore. At its peak, I think it is just under 15 degrees above the horizon. In the summer, in half a year from now, the sun will have crossed that point before most people wake up, I should say. Air Canada Flight 808, Star Alliance livery. Hey, look, more blue spanners in the chat. Tiger has also returned. Good to see ya. Even though you are only able to stick around shortly, it's nice to have you back again. Hope all is well. If you are able to stick around for at least 10 minutes, because we'll see the only 747 that at least for the time being is expected in today's show, will land here. 10 to 15 minutes. Michael, good morning. Glacamatrek, good morning. Hope I didn't forget anybody who said hi in the chat in the meantime. If you are new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. It's not mandatory, but it is always appreciated. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Many are watching, they're all friendly. They're also knowledgeable, so they'll happily try to answer your questions if you have any. If you guys are enjoying the show though, thus far, don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already. It'll help to reach a wider audience and help the channel grow. More gezelligheid in upcoming streams, in other words. Next airplane, Turkish, flight 1951, arriving from Istanbul, Turkey. 3 hours and 4 minutes the flight has taken. Ballpark nominal. The TC log, Lima Oscar Golf. Klaas-Jan, goedemorgen. Ad, goedemorgen. Richard, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, guys. Happy Friday to you all. Hope everybody is doing well. Let's see, Chinese triple, the 747. German Airways, and then Tarom. Stefan is now flying over Lelystad. So that 747 actually took a bigger lead ahead of Stefan Tudor, who is flying in from Bucharest. Tarom flight 361 on a stopover in Amsterdam, with his destination being Toronto. Next arrival is going to be KLM flight 1402, arriving from Paris. Paris Charles de Gaulle, the PHBGA 737-800. Departures from runway 24 in the background you can see, albeit not very clearly. At least it's not as hazy on ground level as it was yesterday. And the 747 is landing there. Hey, droplets on the screen. I'm not feeling anything, but apparently, in the meantime, with the camera pointing that way, interesting. Jan, good morning. Okay, well, droplets on the screen. Don't know where they arrived from, but let me wipe them away. Here we go. Clean as a whistle once more. Time to put the gloves back on and then back to the camera controls. Next airplane arriving is SAS flight 1553. SAS flight 1553. A320 Neo arriving from Stockholm. It's going to be followed by Transavia arriving from Salzburg. Bevroren patat, goedemorgen. Dodo is doing his round. Are you coming this way, mate? Nice. Marcel, goedemorgen. Danny, goedemorgen. Indeed, another great day of 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah. The dark days before Christmas, as we call them in Dutch. Transavia up next. After that, a Chinese triple. Will that Chinese triple get loud? We will find out soon enough. I'm not expecting much in the audio department from this Transavia. Arriving from Salzburg, flight 6592. 1 hour 14 minutes on the way. The Papa Hotel, Hotel Sierra Juliet. Dodo in the house, I think. Was more focused on getting the car in the view on the camera than looking at who was the driver. Okido. 747 on final. Thanks for the heads up, Dustin. It is following this airplane with an EasyJet A320 Neo in between, right? Yeah. In the meantime, Dino is celebrating 3 months of membership. Mate, thank you for the ongoing support. Hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If not, let me know and let me see what I can do to make things better. It was Dodo. I already thought so. China Southern Cargo Flight 451 arriving from Shanghai in China, which is an 11-hour and 28-minute flight for this airplane today. Let's take a listen. Oh man. Belated use of the thrust reversers. A little too late and also not full reverse thrust by the sound of it, but that's okay. That was nice. In the meantime, Dino also gifting a membership just now. Mate, thank you so much for your generosity. The recipient is Pale Blue Doubt. Well, I think Pale Blue Doubt is also in the chat right now, so you can go ahead and start using those custom emojis that you have at your disposal now for a month right away. Don't forget to say thank you to Dino for the gifted membership. Have fun with it. Dino, thank you so much for the generosity. And also congratulations and a massive big thank you to Steven, aka Just Plain Nuts, who is celebrating 13 months of membership, and he writes, I'm here too! Well, it's good to have you back, mate. Hopefully today YouTube did give a notification, or was it just coincidental that you checked to see if we were live? Either way, 13 months and counting. Thank you so much for the ongoing support, Steven. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat, and I hope you are coming back to join us for many more months to come. If not as a member, then at least as a regular recurring visitor. In the meantime, Curtis also renewing his membership. Welcome back, mate. Thank you so much for your vote of confidence. We kept your seat warm. Thank you so much, Curtis, and welcome back, mate. The Neorio. Now this time for the first and only, thus far, visible on-flight radar queen of the show. Cathay Cargo, flight 2067, arriving from Dubai World Center. 7 hours, 54 minutes of flight time. So they definitely consistently take a different route than Emirates does, because Emirates, although from a different airport in Dubai, but hey, that's right around the corner on a global scale. They usually take 6.5 hours to get here. And Cathay always well over 7 hours. Almost 8 actually. They took the scenic route. Have a look. Wing fluff over the top foil. Now if there's one airplane capable of producing loud landings, it is the 7478. Hope she won't disappoint us. This is the Bravo Lima Juliet Bravo. That is 14 years old. Yep, not disappointing at all. Full rudder. Lovely. Absolutely, louder than yesterday. Jeff also back in the chat, good to see you, mate. Perfect timing. Now, number 2 to arrive is going to be Tarom Flight 361 with on board Stefan Tudor. He is on his way to Toronto and makes a stopover in Amsterdam. He is seated on the right hand side. He has a flashlight of 350 lumen with him. He is seated right behind the wing. So I'm expecting a clearly visible shine a light moment. 2 landings from now. And the Chinese triple already passed the fire station on his way back. Is that KLM A321? I think it was an A321 Neo. Alpha Wolf, good morning. Antti Matti, good morning. Mark H, good morning and welcome back. Erik, good morning. Han, goedemorgen. Perfect timing if you were just in time. Mr. Mika, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody. Glide slope visibility is still abysmal, just like how it was yesterday. Maybe a tad better, but very comparable. German Airways arriving from Cologne. If it has water aboard, it's carrying Eau de Cologne. Already seeing the lights of Stefan. Stefan's flight. Hope they won't have to go around. They do, the German Airways Embraer does have to vacate quickly. Decision altitude is coming. If the runway isn't clear, they need to go around. They'll vacate via the first exit. No doubt about that. Yeah, they're probably going to land here. Tarom flight 361 arriving from Bucharest. Stefan Tudor on board. I am expecting a flashlight moment. Let's have a look. 2 hours and 40 minutes on the way. 737-800. The Yankee Romeo Bravo Golf Lima. 2 hours and 40 minutes on the way. 12-year-old airplane. First flight March 2013. Yeah, the flashlight is already visible. There he is, Stefan Tudor. I'm also going to try to wave to him. Yeah, there you go. Welcome to the Netherlands, buddy. Haha. Stefan Tudor has arrived in the Netherlands in style. Welcome, mate. Meanwhile, we're also celebrating Clouds on YouTube's 9-month anniversary of being a member in the Aurora Sky Lounge. Mate, thank you so much for your support. I hope that everything in the lounge is still very much to your liking. If it isn't, let me know and let me see what I can do to make things better. Hope you're going to stick around for many more months to come. Thank you so much, Clouds on YouTube, for your ongoing support. Indeed, Austrian Wolf style. That flashlight, 350 lumen. I was a bit skeptical about whether or not it was going to be enough because 350 lumen, I have lights in my living room that are also producing that much light. But Stefan did point out that in the flashlight it is a bundle focused in one direction, where a light bulb of course is omnidirectional. So it would produce more light than an equivalent light bulb would. And it was definitely more than enough. I'm wondering, I think I might have been able to pick his light up if he had landed on the center runway as well. Not that he did, of course, but that was terrific. Movement in the vicinity of the fire station. They're constructing, and this is the B40 truck. The driving cube. Very cube-like. In the meantime, Dodo also celebrating his 2-month anniversary. Thank you so much, mate. Already at 2 months. Great streams, boy. Dodo, thank you for the kind words, mate, and for the ongoing support. Hope you still like being a member. If anything is amiss, let me know what I can improve and I'll get on it. Next up is going to be KLM flight 980 arriving from London City. That's an Embraer 190. And Gilberto asks, can you explain me what are the activities of the nearest and farthest control towers? Well, it's quite simple, Gilberto. If you look on any satellite picture of Schiphol, you can see that this runway is the furthest from the main platform area. The tower here at the Polderbaan is a dedicated control tower for inbound and outbound traffic to and from Polderbaan. Simply because the main tower right next to the terminal building is so far away that if visibility is suboptimal, it's hard to even see anything that goes on over here. I mean, if I zoom out, that's where the tower is. Now imagine being in that tower and you need to see what is happening over here. You can already see it is hazy, and this is not the worst that we have had here. Yesterday, I think it was even worse. So that is why, with the construction of this tower, this runway, they also constructed a new tower, and the air traffic controllers are just rotating. So the controllers who work in the main tower also work on the Polderbaan tower, and vice versa. It's simply because of the location of the Polderbaan. It is too far away for the controllers to be able to reliably see what is happening here under all circumstances. In the meantime, also a massive big thank you to Mark H, who just now went ahead and gifted 5 memberships. Mate, thank you so much for your generosity, Mark. You didn't have to do that, but you did it anyway. And a warm welcome to the Aurora Skylines, those new members. It's Hans' favorite, with his favorite dot. It's still in place, looking sharp as ever. Yeah, Stefan, the 350 lumen flashlight was certainly okay. Welcome to the Netherlands, buddy. That flashlight worked a treat. I probably would be able to see your flashlight if you were landing on the center runway as well, I think. In the meantime, 1T is renewing his or her membership. Welcome back, 1T. Thank you for your vote of confidence. And welcome back in the Aurora Skylines. We kept your seat warm. Good to have you back. And thank you so much for the ongoing support. Ah, were you able to see the wave? Oh no, that's PHJet responding to Stefan. I thought Stefan saw my wave. Well, he probably didn't. I know from experience when you're landing on the Polderbaan and you're trying to see who is standing next to the runway, everything goes by so quickly. It's much easier for us to focus on the airplanes than it is the other way around. Now, Stefan, if you're still in the chat, what time will your flight be leaving for Toronto? Bob also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Happy Poets Day to you too, mate. Well, your Poets Day is almost over already. Ours has only just begun. Hope you had a good Poets Day, Bob. Yeah, you're right, QJ. It is a big distance still. It's actually, what was it, 150 or so meters? The airplanes look so much closer by when you're standing here, but that's why I often like it when there's people next to the airplanes, when you have apron shots, because it allows you to see just how tiny people are and how actually big these airplanes are. They look really close by, but you're still standing a street length away or so. In the meantime, I was trying to renew a battery in one of my heated gloves. BA CityFlyer arriving from London City. In the meantime, landing here. BA flight 8451, Embraer 190. Poets Day. What is Poets Day? JD asks. Well, I also didn't know until Bob explained. It's piss off early tomorrow's Saturday or weekend. What was it again? Either of the two. In other words, it's Friday and the weekend is upon us. There you go, closer to 250 meters actually. So there you go. Hope you guys are still okay with bladder control and whatnot, because the sound you're hearing in the background is this trickle. I'm standing right on the other side of it. I found it to be calming, but I can also imagine that some of you might get an urge to hit the loo. And if that trickle doesn't do it, I can also help. You're welcome, happy to oblige. Right, well, safe travels, stay fun. Looking forward to hearing from you if you ever return to Schiphol, maybe on your way back. Are you flying back home directly, or are you also flying via Schiphol on your way back? Eric asks, what type of heated gloves do you use? I am looking for thin ones. Well, I have thin ones. These are liners. They're from a brand called Bert Schat. Let me take one off. Here you go. It's Bert Schat. These are pretty expensive. These have, as you can see, 2 indicators. I can press them. They have 3 settings. If I continue pressing them, that triggers them to go on and off. There's a battery in the cuff. That is over here. These are relatively thin. They also have those fingertips on the thumb and index finger with which you can use a phone, for instance. You can also wear work gloves over these. They also have motorcycle gloves. They also have bicycle gloves, which are a bit thinner but thicker than what I am currently wearing. They also have other types of heated garments. Yeah, so it's they're not cheap, and when you run them like I do in the cold when exposed to wind, you have to keep them on the highest setting all the time. They have you have them with one heating element just on the outside, and you have double heating on the inside and on the outside. That's what I am having. You can also buy batteries for them via the well-known Chinese websites. They usually last between 1 and 2 hours on the highest setting in these gloves, which means that I go through 2.5 sets of batteries during each stream. But it works if you're prone to getting cold hands quickly, like I am. These gloves are absolutely what you need in the winter. JetBlue, an A321neo. with beautiful wingtip vortices. Those are very capable airplanes of producing these cables. Flight 631 arriving from Boston in Massachusetts. Good morning, Deloire. Good morning, Didino. Good morning, Freddy Dutch. Wouter, goedemorgen. Good morning, John Doe. John Doe asks, how do you wash them? Well, I don't wash them. I'm not sure if they're fit to be put in the washing machine. I do sometimes take them, clean them with a wet cloth. They are able to withstand water. You shouldn't, of course, submerge them with the batteries in them, but in theory they should be able to take some moisture. Now, recently I had to fix one of them. One of the wires in the cuff broke off. Now, I found a YouTube video that explained how to do it with a different type of glove, and I figured the system would probably be similar. You needed to solder something. I'm not good at soldering, my uncle is, so I carefully opened up the cuff by opening up the stitches so that you could also sew it again cleanly. We fixed it, simply a matter of soldering the wire that had broken off back to the printing plate. Bit of heated glue to keep things in place and sew things up again. That's the only thing that I had with them thus far. I bought them 2 years ago already. Now the batteries, of course, are expendable and they do wear out. One of the 2 batteries that came with the gloves already is now wearing out after an hour, well before the other one is. But they're not cheap, but they're also not extremely expensive. Plus, if you use them in a different context than I am, you might be able to use them a bit longer, get more runtime out of them. Sander Shinobi also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. And a very good morning to everybody else who has joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. If you joined us only just now, you have missed the only 747 of today's show thus far. And Stefan Tudor, who was flashing the light. Here we have Jens Mo. I was about to say John Doe, but it's Jens Mo. Fresh picture, it looks very neat. Unlike some of the pictures on the tails of Norwegian. John Doe asks, can snow melt on your gloves? Good question. Don't know. Don't have experience with snow on these gloves yet. All right, next up, ITA Airways. ITA Airways Flight 120 arriving from Milan. Bombardier C Series 300, aka 820. This particular flight has been, this particular airplane has been flying for 1 hour and 28 minutes. Irish registered EIHHW, Hotel Whiskey. It is a brand new airplane. The first flight was in May 2025. say it again, even if it is cloudy, that color, that livery, it looks beautiful, doesn't it? Windsock over there. Not very aroused. There is a bit of wind, just like there was yesterday. It's not very windy. QJ says Martin Air flight to Cairo goes to 18 left. Not sure to what extent we can see traffic from 18 left over here. Give me a heads up when something is lined up. Well, I do see something taking off right now. I saw something taking off right now. Seeing stuff from 18 left is not... taking off at 18 left is not... it's not the best day to be doing that. This is Croatia Airlines Flight 450 in the Star Alliance livery. Having just arrived here. Alright, World to Fly A350 is approaching. It's flying downwind. No, it's flying base north of Schiphol. Two more narrow bodies arriving here first. First of them, EasyJet, arriving from London Gatwick. Flight 28679, it's an A320. The airplane has been flying for 40 minutes. The Golf Echo Zulu Whiskey Charlie. 13-year-old airplane, first flight July 2012. I'm trying to see if we are able to see traffic from 18 left. You could see a few minutes ago that the ceiling is still very low and the airplanes vanish into the clouds relatively quickly. So if there are 747s taking off from 18 left, which is diametrically on the other side of the runway, the airport, it will be very hard to see today. Hey Ronald, good morning. And welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, everybody else who has joined in the meantime as well. If you joined us only just now, you probably have missed a 747 landing here and also the light that Stefan Tudor flashed upon his landing in Tarom Flight 361. We're still awaiting the A380. That is expected not too long after noon, if I recall correctly. We can have a look on flight radar in a few moments. First, let's catch KLM Flight 1076 arriving from Bristol. That's an Embraer 190. Artem asks about runway 24. Well, we are able to see the airplanes taking off, but they do hit the clouds relatively quickly. You guys will have to give me a heads up when the airplane that you want to see is starting to roll. Well, preferably a bit earlier already. Next up is going to be the World to Fly Corendon A350. Flying as World to Fly, returning from Madrid, where it went to yesterday. No, where the other airplane, the ECNTB, went to yesterday. And this must be its replacement, the ECNZF. Not yet visible, but soon to be. The Echo Charlie November Zulu Foxtrot, 1 hour 49 minutes away from Madrid to Amsterdam. I think that usually a flight that averages around 2 hours. Another 2-year-old Spanish registered A350. Now, for your information, traffic taking off from runway 24, this is what we can see. And this is how quickly the airplanes are already vanishing into the clouds. They're gone before you know it. Hey Joop, goedemorgen. Vakantiegangers uit, goedemorgen. Home Sparrows, goedemorgen, good morning. Vitiavana. Nice long name. Tuning in all the way from Madagascar. Is that officially part of Africa? Or isn't it? Indeed, Apple Flaps fading fast. So this is the World to Fly Corendon A350 coming in from Madrid. Okay. You may continue your descent. There you go. Nice wheelie. It's probably an empty airplane, isn't it? Now, and in the meantime, Ronald is celebrating 28 months of membership, still enjoying at the most. Keep it up, boy, he writes. Thank you so much for your kind words, mate. I will definitely do my best to do that. 28 months and counting, that's 2 years and 4 months, mate. Thank you so much for your ongoing support, Ronald. Hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If not, let me know. Let me see what I can do to make things better. If you're hearing somebody talking, that's because somebody is standing right next to me on the phone, apparently. If the microphone picks it up, then you know why that is. Nippon is about to take off. Is that from... That's from runway 18 left, right? So that's probably over there then. KLM Cargo took off. Where do I need to look, guys? Runway 24, runway 18 left. I'm looking to both runways right now, but I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything. Nothing at all. Oh, wait, no. Spoke too soon. Something taking off from runway 24. Over there. Oh, and already in the clouds. Yeah, looking at departures from here is absolutely challenging today. Nippon taking off right now. Okay. Visible, visible, visible. There it is. Nippon Cargo. Vanishing into the clouds in 3, 2, 1. So that's like a 10-second window of opportunity between it leaving the ground and becoming visible and hitting the clouds already. Next to impossible. You need to time your you need to time it really exactly. Tiger has to go. Thank you so much for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your day and hopefully see you again tomorrow or maybe on Sunday. Right, this is KLM flight 1268 arriving from Copenhagen, an A321neo. It's 11:03 and is the KLM arriving from Stuttgart going to the center or still coming this way? If I had to guess, I am inclined to say it's coming this way, but now I'm not too sure. Flight radar always makes it a bit difficult to gauge. I think it might be going to the center runway. I think center should be open already. Although it is relatively calm. I'm not yet seeing a whole slew of airplanes going to the center runway. Well, no, I stand corrected. Looking on flight radar now, it looks like KLM flight 1828 is still coming this way. Artem says A340 taking off from runway 24. That must be it then. Just a brief glimpse. Even the A340 with its shallow climb. Now, if you look here in the water, for those of you wondering, where are the ducks, where are the coots, where are the grebes? I haven't seen a single aquatic bird here in the water today. I'm not sure what happened, but ever since they started working here on fortifying the other side of the canal, the ducks have gone and they don't seem to have returned since. Paul is also tuning in from Noordwijk. Good to see you, mate. And it seems that we have crossed through 300 likes. Thank you all so much for that. Glad to hear you guys are enjoying the show. And if you are enjoying the show and you haven't done so already, consider adding to the likes. On paper, it should help to bring in new people, new viewers. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. It isn't mandatory by any means, but it is always appreciated. If you say hi, if you are watching, if you're new to the channel, feel free to ask any questions. It's always appreciated if people have questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Many people are watching, they're all friendly, and a lot of them are knowledgeable and will happily try to answer any questions that you might be having. Gilberto asks, where is the fisherman? That's a good question, Gilberto. And looking around, I am wondering, where are the fishing nets? Because I don't see any. Nor did I see them yesterday, come to think of it. So I'm thinking the fisherman is not coming here because there are no nets to check. That's probably the reason. Now, why the nets have gone, I don't know. Maybe all the crayfish have gone, but I doubt that. Probably not. This is KLM flight 1828 arriving from Stuttgart, which I think was the last airplane arriving from the east for the time being. Landing here on the Polderbaan. It does look like Aegean will be the first arrival to the center runway. AG in the house pretty soon. Last airplane, Das Vaag, arriving from the east, going to the Polderbaan. In the meantime, a massive big thank you to Jörg, aka JD, who just now went ahead and he gifted 5 memberships. Mate, thank you so much for your generosity. So many people have received gifted memberships from you by now, over the course of many months. I hope they all said thank you. I hope the 5 recipients of the latest batch of memberships also will say thank you. Please enjoy the custom emojis. There's 34 of them. And I had a look. we're back at around 600 members or so. So it's going to be a long while before we're going to get new emojis, unless we are retiring some of the existing emojis. But 34 we have. Make sure to use them. They're there to be had fun with, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget to say thank you to Jörg if you are one of the recipients of his 5 gifted memberships. Jörg, once again, thank you so much for your generosity. And a warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. The next airplane to the Polderbaan is on final, arriving from Norwich, but still pretty far to the north. Apple Flaps needs to go. Thank you so much for joining Apple Flaps, and hopefully we'll see you later in the weekend. Movement. Over there, the firefighters are doing their round, and I think they're coming this way. I think they will be coming this way from the south, from the far side. In the meantime, Didinho also went ahead and gifted 5 memberships just now. Mate, thank you so much for your generosity as well. A warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those 5 new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Didinho if you are one of the recipients of his gifted memberships. Is it his or hers? Her. Either way, Didinho, thank you so much for your generosity. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge new members. Have fun with the custom emojis. That goes for all members. Make sure to use them. Indeed, Firefighter custom emoji. That's one of the 34 that you can use. Abhishek is also back in the chat. Good to see ya. Welcome to the show, everybody else. The firefighters are coming. The first airplane to the center runway is passing me by in the distance. It is a G in the house. Or at least soon to be. Flight 3624 arriving from Athens. The next airplane to the Polderbaan is still far out, which allows us to have a closer look, or a longer look more properly, at the fire engines that are coming this way. Edwin, goedemorgen, good morning. Welcome one and all. Abhishek is flying out of Schiphol at 1:30 p.m. Where are you going to, mate? That bridge and that rail are a little in the way, as you can see. So pretty soon those fire trucks should become apparent again from the right. I was looking wrong. They are already approaching quite clearly. There you go. That's what you get when you are also sometimes checking your laptop. You're missing out on those details. Hey, Paul is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Paul, if you just joined us, you probably missed the only queen thus far. But also Stefan Tudor arriving on Tarom flight 361, shining the light. Quite clearly visible. Hope all is well, Paul. Hope you guys are having more sunshine in Yorkshire than we do over here. It's still grey, 50 shades of grey here in the Netherlands. We invented that shit. Trademark the Netherlands. And I remember I still have to get the sample from Firestarter from Prodigy for when the fire trucks are coming. I'm a fire starter, twisted fire starter. That seems very appropriate. Toot 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 toot. Beep beep. Yeah. Those lads are having fun, aren't they? I think I would enjoy it as well in their place. Hey Tom, goedemorgen. What a show, eh? Absolutely right, Gilberto. Oh, well, on my end as well, Paul. Thank you for asking. Happy to see that at least thus far it has stayed dry. Yesterday evening it was looking a bit iffy. The TAF of Schiphol was indicating a 40% chance of rain, mild drizzle all throughout the day. Now we did see a few small measly droplets having appeared on the lens all of a sudden when the camera was pointing this way a bit longer earlier in the show, but that was it. Hopefully it's going to stay like that. Now in the meantime, I've been standing here and Russell has been keeping me company. Gra. 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 He is ignoring me. He is ignoring me. He is ignoring the hell out of me. Well, suit you. Oh, suit you, sir. Oh. Firefighters going around the northern threshold. Meanwhile, the next arrival is over here, and it is a wide-bodied KLM A330-200 KLM Flight 765 arriving from Bonaire. The PH AOA Alpha Oscar Alpha. 8 hours 46 minutes on the way. Not impressed indeed. The airplane is 20 years old, first flight August 2005. I'm wondering how much is the delay on your end today. I've been streaming now with quote-unquote normal latency. You have 3 settings when you are in YouTube Studio for the latency of your stream. The lower the latency, the more susceptible to buffering you'll get. Ever since going from low, I mean, you have normal, low and ultra low. I always had it on low before. Now I have it on normal. It increases the lag somewhat. Sometimes it is a bit more than it is on other days. I'm wondering how much is the delay on your end right now on average. If you want to see what the delay is, have a look at the time in the ticker versus the time on your computer, for instance. "21 seconds, 20 seconds. Right. Oh, and it's raining in Yorkshire again? Quelle surprise. Quelle surprise indeed. 1.5 hours, Hansworth says. 18 seconds, 17 seconds. Wietse says 14 seconds. James has 16 seconds. I wonder what happens if you guys are watching on your computer, and what happens if you refresh. Does that improve the lag? Or can you fast forward? Is that possible? I'm wondering. Just thinking of how you guys might be able to enjoy the show with less lag than you are having. Hansworth 25 seconds. Diana only 3. That's interesting. Jörg already has to go again. Mate, thank you so much for joining. Hopefully see you again tomorrow and on Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your day, Jörg. Paul has 16 seconds. John has 20. Interesting. Marcel says that it goes up from 18 to 20 seconds, so renewing apparently doesn't work for him. I thought some people did report that it got better after a refresh. Is fasting forward? Is fast forwarding, is that something that you can do? Minus an hour and 20 seconds. Haha. 20 or so seconds for Jeff. Interesting. I'll give her your regards, Jörg. Thank you so much. Undoubtedly, Lisa says greetings back to you as well. James says if you put it to 2 times playback speed temporarily, you can get it down to about 6 seconds. Hey, there you go. We're hacking the system. Indito, arriving from Mumbai in India. This flight has been going on now for 9 hours and 14 minutes. It's the LNFNC. Norse operating on behalf of Indigo. 7-year-old airplane, first flight May 2018. And Wouter says 19 seconds before refreshing and 19 seconds after. 6 seconds, so Jeff also is able to fast forward to 6 seconds. Hey, no landing lights on this airplane. I immediately see it because it is approaching with just the strobes and it's looking a bit dark in comparison. Here we go. KLM Flight 982 arriving from London City.
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
If you guys need to go to the bathroom more regularly during today's stream than during other streams, the culprit might be the little stream over here. It's right on the other side of the canal. I know that some of you also have reported needing to go whenever I was having a sip of vodka, which I think I also need to do. Haven't drank enough yet. Right, so for some people fast forwarding does seem to help to reduce the lag, and for others it doesn't seem to matter. It is interesting to see that some people are able to watch the stream with only 6 seconds of delay, and others are having 20 or so seconds. There's the police again, and it's I've had 2 police BMWs passing me by. One of them containing 2 lads, and they were waving when they drove past when I was waving to them. And this this one contains only 1 policeman, who seems to ignore me, or doesn't see it, or doesn't want to wave back. And I think this was the second time he passed me by. The first time I also waved and he wasn't reciprocating. Maybe he isn't enjoying the day. Maybe that's why he's working alone. The grumpy police officer. Best to leave him alone. Not completely alone here. There are some pedestrians over here. You can walk all the way up to the cycling path. And at the end there is a little bridge, and you'll end up at a roundabout right behind the trees over there. Oh, electric scooter. An electric moped. Next airplane coming in is KLM Flight 636, 777-200 arriving from Las Vegas. 9 hours and 28 minutes on the way. It's the PHBQN Bravo Quebec November. Hey Marissa, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. Welcome back. For those of you joining us later, you probably missed a Cathay Cargo 747-8 that landed here, which, as far as I know, is going to be the only 747 in today's show, unfortunately. Unlike yesterday, not a lot of 747s underway today. We're still awaiting the A380. If you joined us later, you may have missed Stefan Tudor's arrival here in Tarom, flight 361, minutes after the 747 had landed here. He flashed his light. He already announced it yesterday, and this morning he sent me a picture being on board Tarom flight 361. Typical KLM, everything is typical. The flap surfaces are pretty clean. And the airplane rolls out without spooling up the reversers. Idle reverse landing, keeping up the speed, vacate late, sooner to the gate. Textbook KLM. Polke Puk, goedemorgen and welcome back. Dirk Phillips, goedemorgen. Dirk is tuning in from Belgium. Welcome, southerly neighbor. Martin is also back, good to see ya. Marissa wonders, was it another silent queen? And it definitely was not. It's well worth looking back. It was a loud one. Or at least louder than the ones from yesterday. Definitely louder than the ones from yesterday. Louder than all six together, there you go. Yeah, no, it was, I think it was a full reverse, I think the reversers were enabled completely, fully, maximally, yeah, it's probably the right term. Good morning, your day, who's tuning in from Kerkrade? Welcome all others, if you are new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. Oh, lest I forget, Mike Wild, good morning mate, welcome back, hope all is well. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. There are many people watching. And they're all friendly. Quite a few of them are knowledgeable, and together they can most likely answer all the questions you might be having. If not, the ultimate answer would be 42, of course. To all of any of the questions you might be having. Well, come to think of it, might as well just close off the live chat, disable it from now on, because the answer to life, the universe and everything is 42. That's it. That's the definitive answer. Loudish, Marcel says. It can always be louder, can't it? YouGame and now, good morning. YouGame asks in Dutch if I'm not cold, and the answer is no. I am well equipped, well dressed for the cold. It's not freezing. Luckily, it's also not very windy. It certainly isn't very wet. Here on the north side of the excrement bridge, the grass is also good, green, and not filled with mud like it is further south. Having multiple layers of clothing and having the right clothing on does a great deal to fight the cold. Now, I also asked Son of Shinobi the other day, after having tried his ninja mask, if he could also get me one. He will do so. So when it starts to get really cold, there is also another layer of clothing available at some point in the future. That was really warm. Indeed, Basil. Hitchhiker's Guide reference, indeed. Next airplane arriving here is KLM Flight 954, arriving from Newcastle. It's an Embraer 190, followed by another one from Aberdeen, also KLM. Parallel to that is Austrian, flight 313, arriving from Vienna. Yeah, Boy Shinobi, indeed. The balaclava was really warm. That'll greatly help when it actually does get a bit colder than it thus far has been. And that's absolutely no problem, you game. Who is asking in Dutch, can I say hi to you one time if I see you standing? That's no problem. Now I'm used to people standing behind me who don't necessarily want to interact with me. So if you want to say hi, don't be afraid to come up and come over to me and say hi to me. I'm used to groups of people standing still behind me, watching what I'm doing or listening and looking along with me. They don't always want to interact with me, so I'm usually focused on streaming. Rob H asks if anyone else here is old enough to have met Douglas Adams. Have you met him? I'm not sure when he passed away. I am 43, so I'm probably old enough to have been able to meet him, had our paths crossed, but I probably wouldn't have known who he was until I was older. Yeah, that's right, Dodo. They just wanted to see me work. That's what a lot of people do. It's nice to watch people being at work. I completely agree with them. Ah, nice. Nice. Sander Shinobi will be ordering the balaclava pretty soon. Well, like I said already, you don't have to come and visit me, especially to deliver it. Just put it in your car, and whenever you feel like coming to Schiphol when I'm around, that'll be a good time to give it to me. And send me the tikkie when you have placed the order or already. Who's Douglas Adams? Okay. Google The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. He's an author, a book author, who sadly has already passed away. He has written a well-known book called The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and in addition to that, a few sequels. Now, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was made into a series on the BBC, I thought it was, back in the 80s, was it? I have seen that, only a handful of episodes. Unfortunately, the other books that followed The Hitchhiker's Guide, I don't think were televised or made into series. Now, not too long ago, a couple of years ago, they also made a movie of The Hitchhiker's Guide. With that guy that I knew before from The Office, who was also in the Ali G movie. I don't remember his name. In the American version of The Office, his role was played by Jim, or his character was called Jim. What was his name again? Yeah, the TV series was in the 80s, right? So long and thanks for all the fish. Indeed, that's the next, the first sequel to the Hitchhiker's Guide. Or was it the restaurant at the end of the universe? Martin Freeman, that's it. Hey, Mexican Evan is also back. Senor Rodriguez, good to see you again. Hope all is well, my friend. Have you received your ID already? Martin Freeman, it was indeed, Basil. Either way, if you go to YouTube, you might be able to find full episodes of the series from the 80s. Really funny. It's funny that the Babel fish that featured in the Hitchhiker's Guide now basically has become Google Translate. If only they had known back in the 80s that something very similar would become a reality. Yeah. Oh, first a radio series. I didn't know that. Nice to know. Then the abridged for BBC Two, then movie, yeah. Yeah, the Babel fish is not a fish these days. The modern Babel fish. Yeah, and you don't put it in your ear. That's also right. That's also right. But the idea of language being picked up and being translated to your native tongue is basically what Google Translate can do on your phone. I also found it particularly handy when I was in Tokyo in 2016 or 17. I think it was 16. Whenever I was in stores, I wasn't able to read the packaging of items. And using your phone and your camera and Google Translate, with translations being superpositioned over what you were filming, worked a treat already back then. Hans Worst has no idea what this discussion is about. Look into the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You might be able to find, like I said before, the series from the BBC from the 80s on YouTube. I think I read or heard that before as well, Martin, that Douglas Adam also wrote Doctor Who episodes. Right, Iberia up next, an A320neo. It is 11:35, so in 5 or so minutes from now, if all is well, parallel arrivals are going to stop again. And until 1 o'clock, we are going to see just arrivals on Polderbaan. This is Iberia in the One World livery. We already saw a Star Alliance livery. We haven't seen SkyTeam yet, have we? Don't think we have. Not today, at least. Iberia arrival from Madrid, flight 731, A320neo, 2 hours and a minute exactly underway. Off-axis butt shot. If you're wondering why not a straight butt shot, I'm standing a bit further to the north compared to yesterday and to where I'm normally standing because of all the mud. In fact, the excrement bridge is a bit 100 meters or so further to the south. Over here, right in front of me, there are some tracks of mud, but over here, as you can see, it's all perfectly green. So standing here, walking a minute further to the north makes that my cleaned utility cart, which I cleaned yesterday with a water hose, is still clean right now, and so too are my shoes. Oh, Marissa says that we saw the KLM Embraer and the SkyTeam livery land like 10 minutes ago. I must have not been paying attention then. Okay, well in that case, because we already saw Star Alliance also, Croatian was arriving in Star Alliance livery. Means that we have seen all the special liveries of all the, well, what's the right word for it? What do you call SkyTeam and One World and the other one? Sandra Shinobi says that the ETA of the A380 is back to 12:09. Let's have a quick look while we're waiting for the next traffic to arrive. Have a look on Flight Radar and we can see this is the Orange Pride. Orange Pride will be leaving from Mumbai. That's going to be a departure from 18 left, probably. Hard to see. Emirates A380 expected 12:09 coming this way. And is there more underway? Probably not. No, EasyJet, Jesus. Jesus is going back to Edinburgh from Paris. Zooming out, there is a 747 that has taken off from Miami. That's the MPS, but it is expected by the time it is dark already. The sun will have set at 4:42 this time of year in the Netherlands. And it isn't very bright to begin with. Obviously, that's out of the scope for today's stream. It should get better tomorrow and on Sunday with respect to sunshine. Right now we have IFR conditions and wind blowing from the south, a measly 9 knots. It's 8 degrees Celsius, so I'm basically standing in a refrigerator with wind. A ceiling of 700 feet, broken clouds, few clouds, a dense layer, not far above the ground. Below it, you do have good visibility, 10 kilometers plus. Nothing is going to change anytime soon. So that is the current status quo over here. And in the meantime, a big thank you to Stefan Tudor for your super chat, mate. Awesome day for me, thank you, you're welcome, mate. That flashlight of yours worked a treat. And thanks for notifying me well in advance, mate. Yeah, you're right, Dodo, it is still dark, it is still dark. This is KLM flight 924, having arrived from Edinburgh in Scotland. Overcoupling organizations. I think that is a very nice way to term it. Not Kermit, but term it. Hey Henk, goedemorgen. Affiliations, alliances or groups? Yeah, alliance I think is the best word, the best fit. Star Alliance, I should have known. Anyway, so SkyTeam, Star Alliance and One World are all carrier alliances. Is this one of the last airplanes to the center runway? This is the Embraer 175 arriving from Munich. KLM flight 1850. Richie, good morning. Peter asks how Lisa is doing. Peter is also with the flu at home. Pretty stubborn, he writes. Yeah, well, for her it was also pretty stubborn. She is slowly but surely starting to feel better, but she fell ill when we were back in Antwerp on our last day. So that was not last Monday, but the Monday before. So it's well over 1.5 weeks that she has been very fatigued. Luckily, since last weekend, she hasn't had any fever anymore, but overwhelming fatigue and still a very stubborn cough, also with some mucus production. So it is improving now. The cough is reducing. Her energy is coming back. Her desire to eat also. She was also hardly feeling hungry for the better part of the period that she has been sick right now. She did try to work on Monday when she only has to work for 3 hours, but on Tuesday they already sent her home early because they could already see that she wasn't feeling her best. And then again, I have been fully symptom free, so whatever it is that she has caught, I probably must have had it already earlier in my life. Hey Erik, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. Bob has to sign off for his beauty sleep already. And Cathay Cargo is the last plane for center, Marissa says. Oh no. I was hoping that we were going to see it coming to the Polderbaan already. KLM flight 972, arriving from Humberside, Embraer 175. Scale of chimney smoke, chimneys are visible, but barely. They don't stand out against the grey background. The crew are over here. Treat. And you're right, Gerrit, the sun is setting early. The earliest sunset, I said it before in the chat already, but I'll repeat it happily. The earliest sunset in the Netherlands is around today, shortly before 4:30, I think 4:26 or so. After that, the sunsets are lengthening again and getting later, but the sunrises in the morning are still getting later. The peak latest sunrise will be around New Year's Eve. I think it is around 10 minutes to 9. By then, of course, the sunrises will have started to get later already, a couple of weeks, which is why the net shortest day here is around the 20th, shortly before Christmas. But this is around the time that here in the Netherlands the sunset is earliest. Miss Magic Memories is also back. Doing well, thank you for asking. Hope that also goes for you. People are reporting buffering. Is that, is everybody having buffering? Or just a few people? Over here on my end, everything seems to be running smoothly. All right. Let's see. Ramon is reporting no buffering. The Qatar 777 is flying base. That should be the last airplane to the center runway. Just for a few seconds. Okay, well. So, despite all the precautionary measures, a new modem and an external antenna to attach to the modem, and actually on this at this location having the cell masts in visual range, actually, you still apparently can get buffering every now and then. It has seriously gotten down in frequency ever since upgrading to the new modem and an external antenna. I guess it's something that is inherently possible whenever you are using internet for multiple hours on end. Didinho says time for Starlink. Why would I? I have good reception over here, mate. Might be your provider or YouTube. Could be, could be, could be. With the antenna and the modem over here, let me have a look. I think I have maximal reception. Well, it's hard to see because my modem is now under my laptop. But the reception over here is always good. Because over... where is it? I think the cell mast is right there. That's where my modem is connecting to. It's in visual range. And I have a... I have an external antenna attached to my modem that amplifies the signal 6 decibels, which makes a big difference. Either way, it was short-lived as long as it is a one-off incident. E2 Embraer 195 with a spacious carrying cabin. That was Sun Express. Next should be Qatar, which ought to be the last airplane going to the central runway before it's going to close again, and will stay closed until approximately 1 o'clock. Guido, good morning and welcome to the show. And welcome to the show, everybody else. It seems that we have crossed through 400 likes. Maria says, thank you all so much for that. Happy to hear you guys are enjoying the show despite the abysmal grey, depressing weather. If you are enjoying the show and you haven't done so already, consider adding to the likes. It really helps to bring in new people who haven't heard of the channel yet. Now, we're awaiting the A380. It should be arriving here in around 20 or so minutes. Qatar, in the meantime, just became visible over here. Let's have a look at it. Cathay Cargo arriving from Doha, flight 8206, 777 freighter, 6 hours and 39 minutes on the way, the Alpha 7 Bravo Foxtrot Lima BFL. This airplane is 8 years old, first flight was in February 2017. Was hoping for some vortices, but either they're being produced and we're not able to see them, or they're not there. I think the latter applies. Indeed, Gerrit, it is almost a black and white show. I have half a stop of exposure compensation enabled right now. And I haven't felt the urge to reduce it back to a quarter stop. If you go to the default exposure, let me do that just for fun. This is the standard exposure. Things look grim, a bit too grim to my liking. Going back to plus a half stop. Artem says, BVA lined up, 18 left. Thanks for the heads up. While we're waiting for the next traffic to the Polderbaan, we might be able to see a short-lived glimpse of the orange pride that is leaving for Mumbai. In the meantime, Arjan van Vught just now went ahead. He gifted 5 memberships. Arjan, thank you so much for your generosity. Many people have received gifted memberships from you over the many months that you have been around. And I hope that the last 5 will also have said or will say thank you for the gifted membership. And warm welcome to the Aurora Skyline's new members. Have fun with those 34 custom emojis. They're there to be had fun with. Make sure to say thank you to Arjan, but then enjoy those custom emojis. Arjan, thank you so much, mate. Thank you so much, and welcome to the Skyline's new members. Wietse confirming what we already suspected was going to happen, namely that the A380 would land on Polderbaan. In winter times, that's almost always the case. Well, Orange Pride, not really visible. Not sure if it is rolling already. There's an Embraer 175 landing here, which I think you guys will know what it looks like, so we can... Ah, I thought I saw something right there. Yeah, I think that might have been the Orange Pride. It's like I said before. It's always challenging to see traffic at taking off from 18 left, just because of the distance. On a day like today with a very low ceiling, it is extremely challenging to see it because your window of opportunity to see it between clearing the trees and the buildings and before hitting the clouds is very brief today. Next airplane to the Polderbaan has become visible. It is a big one. KLM Flight 706 arriving from Rio de Janeiro, which is in Brazil, right? Yeah, Brazil. A country in the continent of South America where you can also find I really need to press a bit deeper on certain buttons, it seems like. Or with my heated glove on. I think I am pushing deep enough, but I'm not. Right, KLM Flight 706 arriving from Rio de Janeiro, followed by a MAX 8737 Iceland Air Flight 500. Oh, nice. Check out the wheelie. Hey, so partner 747 taxiing to runway 24 for takeoff. Thanks for your heads up, Marissa. Now, there's still the low ceiling that we need to take into account, but if you guys could give me a heads up once it is lined up and number 1 for departure. Take into consideration you guys are experiencing a 20-second delay in the stream. I hope it's not a 20-second delay in the chat. So as long as you guys can give me a heads up early enough, I should be able to point the camera in the right direction. Hey Nico, good to see you again, mate. Welcome back. And thank you to whoever gifted Patrick the membership. Nice of you to say thank you, Patrick. Enjoy the custom emojis. Those custom emojis are there to be had fun with for all of you as a member. Use them. Don't be shy. They're not on a budget. You can use them as often as you want. Right, Stephen has to go. Thank you so much for joining today, Stephen. Enjoy your day and hopefully we'll see you again later in the weekend. If all is well, the weather is good tomorrow and on Sunday too, so I'm expecting another 2 days of doing a live stream tomorrow and on Sunday. Dodo says, shame you weren't there when the Embraer got a flat tire. I was helping with the cleanup. Yeah, I saw the pictures on in the community section. It seems that stuff always happens when you're not around. Name of the game, I guess. Did they find out why those tires punctured? Probably wasn't where, because there's probably a protocol that requires tires to be replaced in time and checked regularly. Was there something on the runway? Or did they, for whatever reason, need to brake really hard? And Ricardo says, hey boy, 2 weeks ago I was at the Polderbaan with my volunteer. We drove to the Polderbaan. Hey, that's nice, Ricardo. Did you have a good time? Was the weather good? Did you also enjoy the fries at the fries truck? Was the truck there? They're good fries, aren't they? I hope you've given them a try, Ricardo. If not, you have to come back. I see that Sarah is also back. The real deal has returned. Good to see you again, Sarah. Hope all is well. As you can see, the weather here hasn't changed significantly from yesterday. For those of you joining us later, you probably missed the only 747 that we are expecting to see. It landed here minutes before Stefan Tudor arrived on Tarom Flight 361 from Bucharest on his way over to Toronto. He already gave me a heads up yesterday that he was arriving today, and he also posted he sent me a picture of his seat when he was already in the airplane leaving from Bucharest this morning. Seated on the right hand side next to a window, he's showing his flashlight, a 350 lumen flashlight, and it worked a treat. Suparna lined up. Piss poor timing once again, coinciding with the landing of the KLM 100 Years Dreamliner returning from Atlanta, KLM Flight 622. Huh? Are those the reversers pulling up a little bit? It did sound a bit like it, didn't it? Alright, Suparna 747 on runway 24. Going to China. This one is going to require some attention. With good weather, we often see the airplanes already rolling over there. Now I'm not too sure. 747 rolling, Marissa says. Thanks for your heads up, Marissa. Let's see if we can catch a glimpse of the Suparna. Yep, got it. There it is. Thanks for keeping me posted, guys. Here you go. Now, check out just how low the ceiling is. It's already vanishing into thin air. Yeah. That was what? A 5, 10, 15 seconds window of opportunity where we were able to see it. And it was looking almost black and white. But there you go. There it was. The A380 is at Zwolle now. Thanks for the heads up, Gerrit. Another murmuration of birds crossing traffic. So I'm standing a bit further to the north of the excrement bridge. Here the grass is still green and not too much mud, which means both the utility cart and my shoes stay a little cleaner than yesterday. Hans' favorite, Vueling. Oh, K1 has a new logo. Have a look. Bird Control K1 looking the part with the new logo. First time I'm seeing it. Well, not the new logo, but the first time I'm seeing that the new logo is also on the bird control truck. Lovely. Black and white planes, AMS Live retro style, indeed. Well, speaking of retro, I'm also going to go ahead and post some additional clips going forward of older stuff, insofar as I have something interesting. But a lot of streams, a lot of highlights, and a lot of the highlights I never gotten around to incorporating into a separate clip, although that might be interesting. One of the clips I am going to make is a better version of the Slovakian government Fokker 100, which I looked it up yesterday, visited here in September 2023. I did make a short out of that, but it was cropped. And I can also make a short where you see the entire airplane. Anyway. Mercer says sad, still sad they forgot to add live. Yeah, that would be good advertisement for us, wouldn't it? On the other hand, it would also be copyright infringement. Then again, that could also mean some additional income for the channel if I were to pursue them with a lawyer. Pretty sure we can make a case that AMS Live was there before AMS Schiphol was invented, a couple of years already, so let's say my brand has more seniority in that respect. Embraer 190 arriving from London City, KLM flight 984. It's going to be followed by a KLM 777-300 flight 792 arriving from Sao Paulo. Well, I actually already bit the bullet yesterday, Dodo, and I already ordered the new tripod. But the mid-spreader version was not immediately in stock, so they need to place the order at the factory. So even though I purchased the tripod, the new tripod and the new tripod head yesterday, it's going to be a few weeks before it's going to be delivered probably. I hope I'll have it before I'll go on holiday, which will be shortly after New Year's. But yeah, I did already bite the bullet yesterday. Hefty expense though. Pretty soon I'll have a tripod and tripod head that will be twice the price of my already not very cheap camera. But there you go. Hopefully it will be the ultimate upgrade that I'll ever need. It is an industry standard here in news gathering. Whenever you look at behind the scenes footage of press conferences and whatnot, you'll always see those Flowtech Sachtlers. So in that respect, should be getting something good. 40 and wing fluff. Speaking of something good, KLM Flight 792. What a beautiful display. 10 hours and 35 minutes underway, now touching down. Oh, the reversers are being deployed. The slot's open, but of course idle reverse landing. Of course. Another KLM widebody coming up next. KLM Flight 644, arriving from New York JFK. That's going to be a 787-10 Dreamliner. How does it compare to a 777 with respect to the wing fluff and the vortices? Nice back-to-back comparison. This is KLM Flight 644, arriving from New York JFK. 787-10 Dreamliner, the PHBKM, Bravo Kilo Mike. Ah, there's the wing fluff. Doesn't seem to be producing any vortices. Don't see anything emanating from the flap tips. Come to think of it, I think that these Dreamliners hardly ever show those. Unlike the A330neo, the A321neo, and as you could see just now, the triple. A380 now at Almere, thanks for the heads up, Gerrit. It's getting closer by. And Dimitri, good morning. And congratulations, Dimitri is already off until January 2nd. Dodo is at the fire station now. Let's have a look. That's a white truck. That's the parking lot, I think, for the air traffic controllers. That's yellow, but that's not a truck or a car. Bingo. Hey Chantal, goedemiddag. Melvin Master, good afternoon. Kiran, good morning. Good afternoon. E2 Embraer 195, touching down here. In the meantime, Gilberto, thank you so much, Gilberto. Super chats, a coffee straight from the sunny Italian Alps. That's nice, mate. Where in the Italian Alps are you at right now? I'm going to Canada in February. Going back to where I always go to whenever I visit Italy to go skiing. I'm going to Hinterglemm in the first week of January, from January 3rd until the 10th. If all is well, Wolfgang will also be coming over for a day of skiing together. Hopefully the weather will be good. In my experience, for some reason, it always seems to be a bit more sunny in Italy whenever I go skiing there than it always used to be whenever I went to Austria. A bit further to the south. David Wolf, good afternoon, morning, afternoon. Good to see you. And the A380 now being reported to be above permanent. Thank you, Melvin. Hey, Enjoy is tuning in from Suriname. Good morning. Hey, in Bolzano. Nice. That's not too far from... I think I've passed by Bolzano, yeah. Yeah, Canada is a good choice, but it is a bit too far to be going to Seizer Alm. If I go skiing there and I first need to go to Selva and then to Santa Cristina, to make it to Ortizai is taking too long. So I still have to go to a village a bit closer by to go to that area. I'm also thinking if the weather is good, I might step in my car and take the car to what's it called? There's an area that is between Cortina d'Ampezzo and Alta Badia. No, it's not Alta Badia. It's well. And anyway. You can go there and you can ski into at least the part of Cortina that is lying more towards Alta Badia. But it is an hour's drive. And those are windy mountain roads, high up. So it needs to be sunny and the road needs to be clear, otherwise I'm not risking it. But since you have the Dolomiti Super Ski Pass, you can go anywhere, of course. Nice. KLM A321neo arrived from London Heathrow, KLM flight 1004. After that, a Transavia 737-800, arriving from Pisa. Could go for a slice of pizza. Jerome B, good morning. Leon, goedemorgen, good morning. Well, technically speaking, over here it is 12:12, so You would probably need to say good afternoon, but doesn't matter. Potatoes, potatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. Right, the Emirates A380 is on final. Third airplane to arrive here. Obviously not yet visible. It would have been visible had we had normal visibility, but alas, today also not the case. Like yesterday, although visibility is now better on ground level than it was yesterday. Yesterday it was a bit misty, a bit hazy, a few kilometers of visibility. Right now it is still 10 plus. The haziness below the ceiling is less than it was yesterday. Transavia flight 5424 arriving from Pisa, 737-800. The Papa Hotel, Hotel Sierra Alpha, 1 hour 44 minutes on the way. 16-year-old airplane, first flight June 2009. Hey Martin, good afternoon. Oh. Now I think it is Cinque Torri, Gilberto. Cinque Torri. From there you can ski to Cortina and back, and it is relatively easily reachable. You can also ski there from Badia, but you have to take a sled with horses back. No, wait, you have to take a sled with horses to the lifts over there, and then you can ski back. But being in Kanadzai, I think it is probably quickest if I just take the car and drive there. It's around an hour's drive, even though as the crows fly, it isn't too far away. Still, it's a lovely area to be skiing, lovely weather, good food, beautiful pistes. It's absolutely wonderful. But it shouldn't get too busy, so better go to... You guys should probably better go to Austria and France instead. Which is also very nice. Now, weren't the Winter Olympics this year in Cortina d'Ampezzo? Wasn't that also in February, or am I now gravely mistaken? Alright, next up is going to be the Emirates A380 arriving from Dubai. It has already become visible slightly. Here it is. Ryan, fijne feestdagen. Happy holidays to you too, buddy. Emirates flight 147 arriving from Dubai. 6 hours and 47 minutes on the way. A bit longer than normally would have been the case. Usually averages around 6.5 hours at this point. The Alpha 6 Echo Uniform Alpha. This airplane is how old? 9 years. First flight was in January 2016. Wing fluff. I'm expecting reverses as well. Let's look and listen. Very subdued, very subdued. We've seen and heard better. The wing fluff was nice, but those were idle reversers, I think. It sounded like they weren't spooling up the reversers at all. Perfect timing, Snoes, indeed, aka Egil Magnus. Perfect timing. Okay, bird control driving over the runway right now. Interesting, because the runway is still in use. Shamrock is already approaching. Drag race, here we go. 3, 2, 1. And the bird controller is defaulting. Such a shame. Right, as you guys were able to see when I was zooming out, another couple of those drizzly droplets now for the second time having appeared here on the camera lens. Let me wipe them away. Second time this has happened. Thus far, these have been the only droplets, so it's not really raining, not really drizzly. At least not yet. It's not something that gets you wet, but it does show on camera lenses and on glasses. In the meantime, Aer Lingus has landed here. Shamrock returning from Dublin. Tapa Portugal will be next. Marissa has to sign off. Well, thank you so much for joining, Marissa. Enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow and or on Sunday. The weather is good enough. I'm going to go out, so hopefully you'll be there as well. If not, enjoy the weekend. Thanks for joining, Marissa. And see you again soon. Another one of those droplets. David Wolf asks, taking a piss. Well, funny that you ask. I'm standing right on the other side of this small trickle. So yeah, if you feel the need to go to the loo, it might be because this is causing it. If it's not this, I'll happily help with a sip of vodka. Relaxing sounds of trickling water. Only the best for you guys. Tapa Portugal, flight 668, arriving from Lisbon. Now Chantal is asking if I film with a regular camera with lenses. I don't. I have a camcorder, and the solar hood I already have on. But if there is wind and the droplets are small, believe it or not, your lens will still get wet, just like how my glasses are also getting droplets on them, even though I am wearing a hat. And all the old geezers are crossing their legs right now. You're showing your age, Paul. Yeah, no. Mentioned it before a couple of times already. Because some of you also make remarks like that. whenever I use the sound effect for having a glass of vodka. And now the trickle is continuously present, is constantly here audible. Dirk Tour is back and he is celebrating today 18 months of membership, 1.5 years. Always nice to watch airplanes he rides. Always a pleasure to have you in the live chat there, Dirk. Thank you so much for your continued support. 1.5 years and counting. I hope that those 18 months have been to your liking still. If anything is amiss, let me know and let me see what I can do to make things better. Right, let's see. Where is the next widebody? There are a few still coming. Delta Airlines, KLM. I also thought shortly before 1 o'clock there was going to be an A330 from Kuwait. Now, let's see. This is EasyJet arriving from Belfast in Northern Ireland. Flight 23051. Annoying droplet right in the center, and if you look at the lens you hardly see it. That's the thing with droplets on camera lenses, they show much bigger than in actuality they are. They're always in the way. EasyJet arriving from Belfast. After that, KLM flight 1800 arriving from JD's hometown of Düsseldorf. Job almost completed. Of course, today's goal would be to have Buddy watch the show on the toilet because of all the trickling sounds. Almost, but not yet done. Yeah, it's looking. It is looking like. There might be a few drizzly droplets falling here and there. It's very minute. I'm not feeling anything right now. The lens also seems to be staying dry even though I'm zoomed out and pointing the camera in the direction of the wind more or less. So, like I said before, only the second occasion that we saw those small droplets. It already seems to have stopped again. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be getting any lighter here at the moment. That's a shame. Yeah, all different kind of stream entirely. Indeed, Jeff, indeed. Stream is not over yet. That's also right, buddy. Give it more time. Give it more time. Patience is a virtue. Yada, yada, yada. Gerrit unfortunately has to go. Thanks for stopping by, Gerrit. Hopefully we'll see you again later in the weekend. You can count on me going out for another live stream tomorrow and on Sunday. Hopefully see you then. Enjoy the rest of your day. Next up, KLM flight 1602, arriving from Rome. It's a 737-700. Glide slope visibility has been abysmal. Speaking of glide slopes, has anybody seen or heard from Captain Jerry? I don't think... was he there on Sunday? I don't recall. Obviously, I haven't been able to stream for 2 weeks or so. Back at it again since Sunday. I'm trying to remember, was he there or wasn't he? I'm pretty sure he hasn't been around yesterday or today yet. Just curious. Mario says, can't remember. Last Sunday is too long ago. Yeah, same here, Maria. Same here. Hey, Mirza is tuning in from Karachi in Pakistan. Nice. Welcome to the show, mate. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Many are watching. They're all friendly. Many of them are knowledgeable and will happily try to answer your questions. And if you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like. Maybe subscribe if you haven't already. It'll help to bring in new viewers and make it more gezellig in streams going forward. Alamin, good to see you again. Welcome back, mate. Martin is nipping out for a walk while it isn't raining. Be back later. Well, enjoy the walk, Martin. Hopefully you'll make it back dry. And Anchor is tuning in from India, Kolkata. Welcome to the show, mate. Welcome one and all. Right, next airplane, Lot, flight 263. Yesterday it was it was the retro livery. And today it is not the retro livery, it is the standard livery. Always a lot to see at Schiphol Airport. Sometimes a bit more than on other days. Interestingly, Polish Airlines is bigger on this airplane than it is on the retro livery. And the registration is smaller than on the retro livery. Here the registration is a smaller font than Polish Airlines. And if you look back at yesterday's landing of flight 263 and you look at the retro, you can see, or you could see, that the registration has a bigger font actually than that Polish Airlines has. Not sure if that was intentional, but usually it is a smaller font. Honda has to go, off to work. Hopefully see you again tomorrow, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hey there, Alia. Good to see you, welcome to the show. Glackham Trek also has to go. Have a nice rest of the day. You too, mate. Thank you for joining and hopefully see you again later in the weekend. Speaking for myself, Alia, I am doing well. Hope you are too. Paul Logan is also back in the chat. He just landed back in Denmark after spending 2 weeks working in Schiphol vacation until January 5th. Whoop whoop. Hope you're all well. Lucky you, man. Christmas holidays have begun already for you. Hope the weather in Denmark is a bit better than it is over here. Transavia flight 5132, returning from Barcelona. Frans, goedemiddag. Der Carl has to go as well. Thanks for stopping by, Der Carl. Schönen Tag noch und bis bald. Jeff is still here. Yes. Thank you, Jeff, for sticking around. We have a 777-300 next. After this 737 will have cleared the runway. Steve-O says, here in the south of the Netherlands it is much better weather. Is that so, mate? Where in the Netherlands are you right now, and what does it look like where you are at? Over here it has been abysmal. Although, yesterday I did notice when going home, more towards the coast, it started clearing up, and all of a sudden when I arrived home, the sun was almost completely out again, which is only 10 miles from Schiphol, 15 or 16 or so kilometers. Right, the widebodies are coming. KLM 777-300 arriving from Aruba. And after that, Delta Airlines Flight 134 arriving from Detroit, Michigan. Mitchell op een fiets, which translates to Mitchell on a bike. Says good day everyone. Good day to you too, Mitchell. And Stevo is next to Maastricht Airport in Beek. So that is about as far to the southeast as the Netherlands reaches. Few clouds and blue skies to be seen. And VFR traffic allowed. Wow. Well, over here it is IFR conditions, I think. It was IFR on the meter before. Let's check that again in a moment. Flight arriving from Oranjestad, Aruba. And it's not a regular flight number or something. It does have a call sign KLM Flight 758. Is this the airplane that was sent to pick up the passengers of the airplane that didn't take off because there was a rat or something on board? Thought I read something to that effect on the internet, the interwebs, earlier. Weather in Denmark is exactly the same as in Amsterdam. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Paul. Hey, and Jennifer is now celebrating big time. Yes, 2 whole years. Whoop, whoop. She writes. Jennifer is celebrating. She has turned blue as a member. Blue badge, 2 years of membership. Thank you so much for your support, Jennifer. Always nice to have you in the chat. Hope you're going to stick around for many more months to come. If not in the lounge, then at least as a regular recurring visitor. Thank you so much for your continued support. And congratulations on having reached status blue. This is Delta Airlines 134, arriving from Detroit, Michigan. 6 hours, 59 minutes on the way. November 806, November Whiskey, the registration. 21-year-old airplane, first flight February 2004. That's reversers being applied, all right. That's reversers being applied, all right. And you're absolutely right, Jeff. Rats gotta fly too. They deserve holidays. They work hard. You're absolutely right. I'm not saying that it isn't deserved, but I did see it, and it did strike me when reading it the other day. Apparently there was a flight somewhere on the islands over there that wasn't able to return because there apparently was a rat on board or something. It came from Panama City but diverted to Oranjestad. Do you also happen to know why they diverted to Oranjestad, Jonas? Indeed, a butter machine. Those A330s are absolute butter churners. Well, it's still looking very dark here. I still have plus half a stop of exposure compensation enabled, and there's no point in getting it back already. Setting it lower. It's getting calm over here. I don't see any pedestrians anymore further to the north. Russell is still over there on the lantern. There were a few lads here. There's a little concrete bench halfway between me and the excrement bridge. They were standing over there for a while. They've gone. The guy in the yellow vest with the KLM logo on it, gone. They've all gone. And we're back with another A321neo. A jet is arriving from Istanbul. And you can see the vortices, particularly on the left. Those A321neos are very good cable producers. Have a look. A jet returning from Istanbul, 3 hours 21 minutes the flight duration. A bit longer than normally would have been the case. Average flight time between Istanbul and Amsterdam normally would be around 3 hours. And indeed, Christian, most airplanes do have a red on board. This was a different type of red though. Right, I'm hearing an airplane passing by overhead. Can I see it? Obviously not. Obviously not. It's 12:39 and let's zoom out on flight radar. I can see that there is a KLM arriving from Guayaquil. That's a 777. There's also a busiest arriving from Zurich, flying just south of The Hague and Rotterdam. I'm not sure if that's coming this way. We have seen busiest landing here before, but if possible, they usually go and land on the Schiphol Oostbaan, runway 0422. I also saw that the Kuwait A330neo is in Dutch airspace. Has it been assigned to the Polderbaan still, or has it already been assigned to the center runway? That's what I'm wondering. Because there's not much wide-body traffic coming this way, except for the 777 arriving from Guayaquil and that Kuwaiti A330. So I'm hoping that the Kuwaiti will still land here on the Polderbaan. Russell Crowe over there. Russell Crowe stealing the show. Haven't seen that falcon that we saw yesterday. What a beautiful bird that was. I'll turn that into a short or something sometime soon. Xander Shinobi has to head off. Needs a bit of cleaning in the living room to do. Well, good luck with that, mate. Thanks for reminding me that I also have some cleaning up to do when getting home. Oh, autofocus still enabled. That's the focus dance that you get whenever the camera is trying to focus on the subject and you haven't set the camera to manual focus, which is what I normally have, except when filming wildlife, which often is closer by than infinity. But boy, these airplanes are also closer by than infinity, aren't they? Yeah. Technically speaking, you are right. Interesting logo there. So these are used to measure the visibility, right? If I recall correctly. I also heard the beep 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 here before a few times. I'm trying to find that. Hey, Kuwait Airways to the Polderbaan. Thanks for letting us know, Paul. Ah, so they did have to pick up passengers due to the red. So it wasn't sent exclusively for the passengers, but they did pick up a few of the stranded passengers. So it was related to the red after all. The beep beep beep, that's coming from there. Dodo looked into that and found out that that's where the beep 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 you're occasionally hearing here is coming from. That's to measure the height of the cloud base. Christian Naus has to go, unfortunately, back to work. See you later, mate. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully see you again in the weekend again. Tomorrow and Sunday I should be out again with another stream. For now we're sticking around. I definitely want to see the Kuwaiti A330 Neo landing here shortly before they're opening up the center runway again. Hey, Russell says hi. And, oh, he is actually going to do a drag race? No. Well, you're losing, buddy. Don't know how much of my vodka you have been sipping, thinking that you were able to win from an E2 Embraer, but you clearly lost, mate. Go back to your throne and just chill the F out. He's circling around me. Now I need to go back with my camera because otherwise the camera wires will get tangled, the cables. And now he's sitting over there, feeling sorry that he lost the drag race that he should never have entered into to begin with. Indeed, Rob. That rat had a first class ticket. Alright, the next airplane. Over there, barely visible. Still making its way through the clouds that form the ceiling at just a couple of 100 feet. It is an A321 Neo. And if you look closely, you can see the cables, the vortices from the flap tips. Transavia flight 6144, returning from Alicante in España. 2 hours and 11 minutes on the way. The Papa Hotel, Yankee Hotel Alpha. The first of the own fleet, I think. The Alpha at the end of the registration is indicative of this being an airplane that is owned by Transavia. If the last letter of the registration is one of the last letters of the alphabet, it is a rental. Now, just because it is the first letter in the alphabet doesn't necessarily mean it was the first airplane to be delivered. But chances are this was also the first delivered own airplane, the first owned A321 Neo from Transavia. Paul says, hope the rat likes his new home. Well, hopefully he'll get back here. Like Jeff already mentioned, they're hard workers. Here in the Netherlands, we need every worker that we can find. So hopefully he will enjoy his well-needed vacation, well-deserved vacation, and then hop back over to the Netherlands. We still need him to do his work over here. Hey, John Norris is also back in the chat. Long time no see, mate. Where have you been? Hope all is well still. Hey, and Nancy is also back in the chat. Good to see you, Nancy. Welcome back. For those of you joining later, you haven't missed that much. The weather has been abysmal all the time. Just like how it was yesterday. There were a couple of highlights though that are definitely worthwhile looking back at a later stage. A loud landing by a 7478, and a couple of minutes prior to that, our viewer Stefan Tudor arriving via Tarom flight 361. He's shown the light, he had a flashlight easily visible. He already sent me a picture of his window seat in the airplane when he was in Bucharest still, before taking off. The A380 landed here with idle reversers. It was nice to see, but it wasn't very spectacular. Pretty soon we're going to see the Kuwaiti A330, and I think I am going to wrap up after that. Here we have KLM Flight 751. It is a 777-200 arriving from Guayaquil, and that is a port town in a country called Ecuador. You're goddamn right. 10 hours and 35 minutes on the way. The PHBQP, Papa Hotel, Bravo Quebec Papa. $18-year-old airplane already. First flight April 2007. More sunshine is expected for tomorrow and Sunday. Today and yesterday, on paper, should be the quote-unquote worst days of the upcoming weekend, so to speak. And that is textbook KLM. Flap surfaces that you can eat food off. No reversers being applied, rolling out, vacating late. Whoa, 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 Fidel Castro. I was already wondering where you were. Not as pretty as the Falcon that we saw yesterday, but still a looker nonetheless. This is full optical zoom. From here it becomes digital zoom, which I only want to use in moderation because otherwise it will just blow up pixels. And you can also see that there is also a bit of what's that called? Graininess. Harry the Hawk. No, it was Freddy the Falcon, actually. Freddy the Falcon. And this is either Fidel or Raul Castro. Hard to pick them apart. And indeed, Chris, those anti-bird spikes are super effective. Well, I think that those spikes aren't on that white thing that the bird is sitting on, actually. Yeah. Yeah, it's working a treat. Pretty soon, we are going to see the lights of KLM Flight 1818 arriving from Frankfurt, Embraer 175. After that, a Bombardier C-Series 300 from Air Baltic, arriving from Riga. We need to see the light. Where is the light? There it is. KLM Flight 1818 arriving from Frankfurt. Let's see, and the Kuwaiti A330 is crossing the marker Mir still. That's the body of water called where you can see it on flight radar still flying over. Before reaching mainland northern North Holland, the northwesterly most province of the Netherlands, which also includes Amsterdam and Haarlem. Now you might be inclined to think that Amsterdam is the capital of the province, but that's not right. It is Haarlem. Yeah, indeed, buddy. Smart birds, using those spikes even for building a nest on some occasions. They don't give a shit about humans and their spiky thingies. All they're seeing is just fortification for their nest. Very pragmatically speaking. And here is another light. Here we have Air Baltic flight 621 arriving from Riga. Bombardier C-Series 300. Hey, is this a special livery? It is! It is the Austrian flag, and Wolfgang isn't here to celebrate with us. Such a shame. Evelyn is also back in the chat. Ground crew incoming. Well, I'm going to wrap up in 5 minutes from now, Evelyn. That is unfortunate timing. Still, would be nice to see you again. Now, before people will start going off in the chat. Oh, but this is a Latvian flag. I know. But it does bear somewhat of a likeness to the Austrian flag. I know it even says Latvia, which is Latvian for Austria. Yeah, Chris Rico is here. Austria representing. Alrighty. That was the Austrian flag livery. Glide slope visibility was better in the beginning of the show. It was abysmal to begin with, and it's only getting worse. I am absolutely hoping tomorrow will be a bit better. More sunshine. Sunshine to begin with, period. That's already something. Kuwait is turning in. Kuwait, flight 127, now number 3 to arrive here. Being preceded by an A320neo from Sky Express, which has just become visible. There it is. Lufty behind it, flight 2304, arriving from Munich. Hey Klaartje, goedemiddag. Just in time, Evelyn comes running this way. Hey, goedemiddag.
Goedemiddag.
Hoe is het? behalve een beetje buiten adem. I'm asking how she is, with the exception of being out of breath a little. Long time no see.
Ja, kom van school af.
Kom van school af. Hoofddorp.
Ja.
Hoe bevalt het?
Redelijk.
Redelijk.
Ja.
Nice. Sky Express. Evelyn has just arrived on the scene here. she's still out of breath a little. She's still catching her breath.
I don't have to.
That's a good thing for the new year. A New Year's resolution. Work on running or something. Well, just in time. The penultimate airplane of the show is approaching. This is Lufthansa flight 2304 arriving from Munich. And after that, the Kuwaiti A330 Neo arriving from Kuwait City, flight 127. That will be the last airplane for today's show. Hopefully tomorrow visibility will be better. Hopefully we'll also be able to do a bit longer streams. There's not much happening these days after the A380 has landed. Since it is arriving really early in the winter time, going to the threshold of 18 left is not much better, because from 1 till 2, when used for departures, it will be closed. So streams there also are limited to approximately 1 o'clock, or I somehow have to get everybody to stay entertained for an hour, which is impossible. Even impossible for myself to stay interested for so long. Anyway, people in the chat are also saying hi, they're waving back. And Michael DCA is also back in time, just in time, indeed. Now I should be back again tomorrow, the weather should be good. We're not going to get any sizable amounts of rain. In fact, no rain for tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, last time I checked. So you can count on me being out again for another stream tomorrow and also on Sunday. David Wolf unfortunately has to go. Thank you for stopping by, mate. Last airplane of the show, Kuwait Airways flight 127. It will become visible pretty soon, arriving from Kuwait City, where it left from 5 hours and 44 minutes ago. The 9 Kilo Alpha Papa Lima. That is a brand new airplane. The first flight of this airplane was in May 2025. Where is the light? We're looking for the light. We have found the light. Again. Yeah, I bought a stream deck, now I need to use it. God damn it. Yeah. What can I say? I'm a grown man in a... I'm a child in a grown man's body. Nice. Here, a bit of wing fluff. Check it out. Check it out. Last airplane, not disappointing thus far. Hopefully they'll also spool up the reversers for a complete package. Come on, son. Bit more. Don't be shy. Nah. Nah. Not today. Just the wing fluff and the cables. Right, off axis butt shot. And on that bombshell, it is time to wrap up. A big thank you all of you for joining me here today. I hope you had fun. I certainly did. If you enjoyed the show and you haven't done so already, don't forget to leave a like before going out. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to post things in the community section, make sure to subscribe and go over to the community section. In the meantime, a big thank you for all the support, for the likes, for the super chats, the super stickers, and all the other forms of support. Moderators, once again, a big thank you for keeping the chat friendly and accessible to everybody. Hopefully, I'll see you all in good health again tomorrow. For now, I'm going to say goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your day and see you again soon. Bye for now, guys. Take care.